Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Planet Film Network. Welcome back to Planet Film Live, episode 74. Can you believe that?
Yeah, episode 74. We've come a long way.
Episode 74.
I'm one of your hosts, TJ Cornwell.
Oh, yeah, I am your other host, Sean Monk.
Well, today we are going to be talking about the streaming service. We're going to do our streaming service rankings, which is something we've wanted to do for the past month or two. We just have not really gotten to it.
Mm-hmm.
But today is the day, or tonight is the night. Then we're going to talk about Euphoria. We're going to talk about the last episode of Peacemaker from last week. And we're going to touch on a few news topics real quick that I wanted to touch on, which I just found kind of interesting because most of them have to do with shows getting renewed that haven't even, or movies getting a sequel which haven't even come out yet, which I just found interesting. Real quick, you watched Super Bowl or you didn't? You said you watched commercials?
I watched the commercials, yeah.
Interesting. Did you have a favorite commercial?
I think I did. Oh, you know what? I don't know why. It was just super simple and stupid, but the whatever it is, the Hyundai, or not Hyundai, like the Silverado or the pickup truck commercial with the Joneses.
The Jones.
With Tommy Lee Jones and Leslie Jones and Rashida Jones, and then Nick Jonas shows up.
Yeah.
I liked that one just because it was just stupid.
Yeah, my favorite was hands down the Soprano one, where I forget her name, the one who plays Meadow, is just driving to the theme music, taking the same route and everything. She pulls up and then AJ's standing there. I was like, oh, you got me. And then they hug and it was, my gosh.
Is that all?
My feels.
Is that all it was?
It was for Chevy Ford.
Oh.
Maybe Ford, I think it was. It was for a truck, and I was like, I might buy a truck now. You got me. I lost a decent amount of money. I shouldn't say that.
Care to say a monetary amount?
No, I don't. I shouldn't say a decent amount of money, because I make it sound like it was a lot. It really wasn't. The problem was I had put a few, one or two bets on Odell Beckham to do things. And he did those things, but then he got injured and couldn't complete the game, which kind of screwed me. So the only thing I won was the Rams winning on a money line. The one I bet was to score, both teams to score a touchdown on their opening drive, just $5 just to see if they could do it. They didn't. I bet tails on the coin toss. It was heads. Small amount as well.
Man, you were aces.
Yeah, I bet the over 48.5 points. It was the under. I had a parlay, which I had Cooper Kupp scoring a touchdown, happened. Cooper Kupp over 60 yards happened, and OBJ anytime touchdown happened. I didn't get it because Joe Burrow did not rush for over 12 yards or for over 11.5, which I thought would happen and didn't. And I also lost Odell for over 63.5 receiving yards, which if you're watching the game, he was well on his way to that. He had 52 yards when he got injured. So all he needed was maybe one or two catches and he would have had it. But yeah, so I got screwed on a few of those when he went down. So I didn't lose that much because I didn't bet $100 on one thing. I bet $10, $20 on a few of these and $5 here and there. But yeah, it was an okay game. It wasn't great. I thought the halftime show was great.
That I did. I watched that whole. Yeah, that was really, really good. The only thing, I almost don't even want to critique it, just because it was just really, really you felt everything it took for all of them to be on the stage and stuff, and everything that everyone's been through and stuff like that. But the only thing that I would have liked was they basically did 2 rounds each. You know what I mean? Where it was Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre. Then it was they kind of went in a line, and then they started over and they all did another thing.
Right.
I would have liked somebody would have had to have arranged the music or whatever, but something where they're all like standing together and like going in and out of their songs, you know what I mean? Kind of like doing like a medley of some of their songs and stuff. Like just something to kind of make it feel more like unified.
Right.
You know what I mean? Instead of just kind of like, you know, all 5 of them did like 2 songs.
Right.
You know what I mean? That was my only thing. Was I was just like, okay, are they gonna start like doing something together, like you know, Mary J. Blige and Eminem, like gonna, you know, riff on each other or something. But what we got was really good. I thought it was incredible.
I thought we were gonna end on Eminem, and I'm glad we didn't, because I was like, do we really want to end on Eminem? Like, I feel like we could end it like, you know, on Dr. Dre or Snoop Dogg or Kendrick, like. But you know, I liked the halftime show a lot.
Yeah.
I was surprised that Anderson .Paak was just on the drums. I expected him to, you know, be singing a song or something, but that didn't happen. And then 50 Cent. He was not announced, but that was cool that he showed up.
Curtis.
Yeah, but the game was
people are like making fun of him because he's like,
oh, he said he $1 now instead of 50. That's what people are saying.
Like the man is what, like 50 something?
Yeah,
probably. Like, you know, he's getting up there,
50s,
like,
probably, yeah.
And also he's like does action movies. Like he didn't even look. He doesn't even look fat. He just looks like bigger.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like, I don't know. People are ridiculous. Right.
Like, but yeah, the game kind of went how I expected it to. The Rams won. Not really surprised. Probably should have been us, but you know, things happen.
Do you think that if we were in that game, we would have won?
I think we could have beat them. Yeah. I think because most of the game was just like a defensive battle.
Yeah.
I mean, the Bengals should not even have had that one touchdown, not the trick play, the one that Joe Burrow threw to T. Higgins, because T. Higgins just like ripped Jalen. I think it was T. Higgins, or maybe it was Tyler Boyd. But he ripped his face mask. Like, he just grabbed his face mask. It was clearly a face mask, and they didn't call it. But yeah, I thought the better team won, in my opinion. But yeah, it was a good game. Do you want to talk about Belfast first, or do you want us to do our quick review, or do you not want to talk about
no,
Belfast?
if you want to, yeah, we could just do more time on Nile, because I really want to talk about it. Yeah, Belfast, if you want to, on the channel right now. I recorded just a 1-minute review of it, basically. Just literally coming out of the theater, quite literally stepped out of the auditorium and just recorded because I was the only one in there. But yeah, so go check out my my thoughts over there. But yeah, then we have both seen Death on the Nile now. So yeah, we're gonna do a little bit of a review of that. I feel like spoilers.
Yeah,
for a small portion. So we'll do like, you know, it's not whatever, but I mean it will probably just be a couple minutes, but we'll wave our hands, you know, when you can unmute, basically. So if you don't want spoilers, make sure the captions are off, make sure you're muted, and then we'll wave you back in. What did you think? First of all, how did you, just quickly, overall feel, how did you like the first one? Like, how were you going into
I thought
this?
The first one was fine. I didn't really remember it that well. I remember Daisy Ridley was in it. I think Judi Dench was in it, if I recall. Josh Gad. I thought it was fine. Oh, Johnny Depp was in it too, wasn't he? Yeah.
Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah, I thought it was. I think
at
the time I thought it was okay.
Mm-hmm.
So going into this one, I didn't really have the highest of expectations. But yeah, I thought it was fine. I really don't remember it that well because it was like, what, 2018, 2019?
Yeah, I think 2017.
Oof, that'd be a long time ago.
Yeah, I think 2017.
But yeah, I thought it was fine. It wasn't my favorite movie, but
but now the sequel, how'd you feel?
Sequel, I liked. I actually cared for Kenneth Branagh's character. I was surprised. I actually kind of cared about his. I thought the backstory at the beginning kind of really helped.
Because
flesh out him a little bit more.
That was a big divergence. Like, really never before. Like, Agatha Christie had gone into it in, like, I think one of the very later, like, novels or something. But like in any of the movies and stuff, like, they'd never. This one really was more of like about him. You know what I mean? Like the first one, like he's the central character, but it's kind of like, all right, we're at the start of the story. Here's everybody.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But this is the guy that, you know, we're following type
Right.
of thing. This was like, I felt like he was the main character of this movie more than I felt that way with the first one. You know what I mean? And I think, like you said, definitely the opening and then the very last scene too, which I thought was a little like, you know, it ends just kind of on like a, you know, like a, I guess kind of like a somber, like life goes on kind of like like this is like after he solves the case or whatever, but like the actual end scene of the movie is just kind of like a, well, you know, life keeps going on to the next thing type of like, and I liked that it just kind of quietly faded to black, and then it was like, oh, that was the movie.
A lot of the side plots I did not really care about. Like I didn't I didn't really care about the what's her name? Black Panther.
Letitia Wright.
Letitia Wright. I didn't really care about that whole kind of her and the other guy kind of story. You know, I could have done without that. Trying to think of another one. There was a lot of them.
A lot of like the melancholy is not the word. Melodramatic. Like a lot of the like, you know, it's like, oh, like you said, like, well, this person's in love with this person, but they didn't want to tell their
like
parents.
the two women. Like that, I was kind of like, okay.
It's like, whoa, you know, lesbians in 1937. Like, but I was like, okay, whatever. Like, you know, but the movie kind of is like treats it like oh, I do not think this is a partnership at all, or it might be a partnership of love. And it's like, all right, yeah, like you kind of figure that's where it's heading about 2 minutes before the movie, like, whoa, reveal. And it's like, all right, yeah, we already figured that out. But yeah, I can't remember if Kenneth Branagh wrote the first one, because he did not write this one.
Okay.
But he did direct it, which I will say, I'll start my stuff with, I thought the direction on this was really, really good. I had a Kenneth Branagh double feature today. The fact that like the same person directed both of those movies is like crazy. But they were both, you know, very well. I mean, the direction is just beautiful. Like with the way that he composes like the cinematography and composes the shots. Obviously he has a cinematographer, but like just the way that the way that the movie looks and feels and stuff, I feel like it's just very like slick, but also like of its time, but modern too. Like I feel like this movie and the first one really like struck that balance like perfectly for me. But yeah, I would say I think I really enjoyed this. I feel like I definitely enjoyed this, and kind of like you said, I felt more for Perot in this one, and I kind of was more like, there was a moment where I was literally on the edge of my seat, like with the actual mystery, because I was not familiar with Death on the Nile and stuff. Like, I had seen the previous Murder on the Orient Expresses before I went and saw that one, but I had never seen any of the previous Death on the Niles that there have been, because I think this is the third one. So I had never seen that, so I didn't know what the story was at all. So when... Okay, we probably enter spoilers now. So full spoilers for Death on the Nile. When people just like start dropping, I was like, what the hell is going on out there? I was like, because the first one, like, spoilers for Murder on the Express, they killed Johnny Depp, and you're like, and then it's just like, all right, let's figure out who did it. You know what I mean? And then that one kind of has, you know, when it was first written, like a beautiful, great, amazing twist of, you know, well, they all had reason and they all did it. You know what I mean? But it's like, now it's like, okay, well, that's not interesting. You know what I mean? Now it's like, well, that's not interesting. This one, I feel like, because it didn't have the burden of like having to have the same ending as the first book did, which is like, you know, aren't we all guilty? This one was like, no, there are definitely two people that did this and are very guilty.
Or one.
Or two, or maybe a group of people. There's actually, it's cool. I think it's cool too, the way that like it unfolds, that there's really like kind of 4 guilty parties of different crimes.
Yeah.
Like, well, I guess if we're in
pertaining
spoilers.
to the side,
yeah, like
subplots.
yeah, like if we're in spoilers, like because, Jackie and Simon, like Emma McKay and Armie Hammer, were the actual killers, and then the lawyer guy was the guy who actually pushed the rock off at the beginning of the movie, and then I really loved what happened towards the end.
Yeah.
Like I agree with you. I didn't care about the Letitia Wright subplot, but everything with him and Poirot at the end with Book and him,
Yeah.
I was eating that up. I was like, oh my god, and the fact that like he like Kenneth Branagh's performance, like you could feel that he is so genuinely hurt that like he didn't. Because at first you think he's like, oh, he figured it out and Book is the killer. But then he's like, no, you're not the killer. You're just like, you were just stupid. Like, why would you do like? And he felt so disappointed, and like he was yelling at him. And then as soon as he, again, very spoiler alert, as soon as he gets shot, and Poirot's like, he's like, oh my, like he immediately goes back into like, that's a good friend, like that's like my good friend, like mindset of like, he's like, oh my god, what, like he like can't even believe what's happening. And Kenneth Branagh was so good in that. And then when he's doing his like, I loved how like the wait staff was like hatching a plan with him, and the wait staff like locked everybody into the room. But when he was going on his like actual tear of like,
interviews and
no, like at the end when he's actually like, this is what happened. Yeah. When he like gets choked up and he starts to cry when he starts to talk about Book's death, I was like, fucking Kenneth Branagh.
I don't even remember him
bringing
from the first
this
one. I'll be completely honest.
Huh?
I don't even remember him from the first one. Like me and Danielle were like, was he in the first one? Because they're talking like he was.
No,
in it,
I agree. I very vaguely. But then I looked it up. Because I was in the back row, so I just looked it up on my phone. I was like, he was definitely in the first one, right? And yeah, he worked on the train.
Oh, okay.
That's why he says like, he's like, oh yeah, my mother doesn't think that the train was suitable or something.
Yeah, I just thought like him like flying kites on the pyramid. I was like, what are we doing? I was like, what? At first, I was like,
yeah,
what is this? Like, we're in Egypt and he's literally just sitting on a lawn chair, like looking up at the pyramids in the middle of the desert.
Yeah,
and I'm like, what is going on? And obviously his mom's painting the picture, or whatever.
Yeah. Eccentric millionaire.
Yeah, I thought it took a long time to get on the boat. For me, it felt like a really long time.
Yeah. I have a feeling that, again, I haven't seen the previous versions.
Yeah,
I have a feeling that sequence getting on the boat is very much drawn out just to give Gal Gadot as much screen time as possible.
Yeah,
because spoiler alert, she's the one that she is the death on the Nile.
Yeah.
The first one. So yeah, that was one thing I did think. I was like, I feel like they really stretched out pre her death, just because I'm assuming that probably happens, just like Johnny Depp, honestly, because Johnny Depp,
he was in it for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, he was in it real quick. But this, I feel like, because I also feel like this one, yes, the cast was like really strong. I'm not even. You can bring it up if you. I'm not even addressing all the craziness with fucking, cannibal. But like the cast was really strong in this, but it was not the like absolute AAA class like star-studded lineup that Murder on the Orient Express had. You know what I mean? Like this one had like 3 or 4 really big names, and then everybody else was so I feel like they needed to keep Gal Gadot in as long as they could. And I did think that like her death was like effectively done, because I honestly, again, like I said, I watched the very first trailer for this, and then nothing else, had no information, so I had no clue who was going to be the person that died. I had no clue who, like, so this was a complete like blank slate for me, and I feel like I really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I'll go 3.75 out of 5.
Yeah, I liked it. Like, just for example, real quick, like stuff like him pushing off the rock off the thing to hit them.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that didn't just fall. Like, it's an old thing. Like, they really, she was really like, and it was a little foreshadowing, but somehow, towards her death. But when she's like, oh, the sandstorm is coming, and then like the sandstorm quickly comes, and then they're just gone, and it's like,
and then they're just back on the boat.
Nothing really happens.
I thought that the sandstorm was gonna be like a much bigger part of it.
That's exactly what I thought. And even like, I don't even know what her name is.
Who?
At first I was like, oh, that's Lucy. At first I was like, oh, she looks a lot like Margot Robbie, and I was like, I know it's not Margot Robbie, and I was like, is
Emma
that?
McKay?
Yeah. And I was like, I thought it was Lucy Hale.
Oh,
and then I was like, oh, that's Hugo Weaving's daughter. What's her name? I think it's his daughter. They have the same last name.
Samara Weaving.
Samara Weaving.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't. It was that woman you said.
Is that Hugo Weaving's daughter?
I assumed it was.
I think
it
that just, if that's true, that had never clicked in my brain. I want to see.
But yeah, overall, like, real quick, actually, last question. Did you think Gal Gadot was good in this movie? Because me and Danielle were kind of like, or at least Danielle more, but I was also like,
I don't think she was good. I think she was fine.
Okay.
Like, she was fine.
Yeah.
I think there was like a little bit, like, I don't know. I mean this in like the nicest way possible. She's a very good actress, but she is very, I don't know. She has a very hard time. At least my interpretation of her work.
Daughter. Oh, it's his niece. Sorry.
Oh, it's his niece. Okay.
Niece. Sorry, Samara Weaving, niece.
I just, in what I've seen her, I just feel like she has a hard time conveying like emotion, like emoting.
Like that whole, like, her big kind of blow up. I think before she dies when she's walking up the stairs.
Yeah.
She's like, I don't remember what she says, but it was all kind of like, I didn't really feel
like
that.
when she's like, Jackie, you were the only one that, didn't care about them. Like that scene you're talking, like right before. Yeah, I agree with, like, it just felt like she was like really strong.
I'll buy the whole Nile if I have to. And I was like,
yeah,
okay.
like she was like really strongly like performing the dialogue, but I didn't
get the emotion across.
I didn't buy that they were like lifelong friends.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And like even like weird stuff at the beginning where she's like, where Jackie's like, oh, he's just, the best, whatever. And then, she's like, oh, Jax, you've got it bad. And it's like, what is this accent or like character that we're trying to be here? Yeah. Like, are you British? Are you French? Are you what? Like, just like an aristocratic, like whatever accent, like, and then I thought that like Russell Brand was like good. I just couldn't get past the wig and the beard. I just couldn't get. I thought
he looked good. I'll be honest. Like, he looked good. I thought like he looked good. Like, he looked hot.
Oh no, yeah, like he definitely looked good. There was some scenes where I was like, that man has like 3 feet of hair under that wig.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there was just times like that, because I think the beard really looked good for the most part, which was like weird that they didn't just like tell him to grow out his, but I get it. That's how costuming works. They want it to be exactly what they want. But like, yeah, I thought he looked good. I just thought the wig was like throwing me off at times. But I thought, more importantly, I thought he was good. Like, he was very good in this movie. I think he held his own in some meteor like acting pieces that I was glad that he got. Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
To end it, I'll say I'll give it I give it a 3 out of 5.
Okay.
So I liked it, but it wasn't. I was like, this isn't like Knives Out. Like, I thought Knives Out was great,
which is like it's natural comparison, of course. Would you do you want to see a third one?
Yeah, why not? If you get maybe if you, I didn't really have a problem with the cast, because again, it was kind of like Gal Gadot, Armie Hammer, Kenneth Branagh, and I don't know who would the fourth one be. Probably.
Russell Brand.
Russell Brand, maybe. I don't know.
That's probably it.
Yeah, so maybe if they could build it out more like the first one, then sure. But yeah, I would be up for another one.
Dawn French, the fat lady from a Harry Potter franchise.
Oh, yeah.
She was the nurse companion.
The nurse companion. Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. So that'll do it for our Death on the Nile review. What do you want to do next? News?
Yeah. I have 3 of the articles that I just loaded up on my phone real quick. All right. So the first one I want to just talk about real quick is that Halo, the TV series, is already renewed for season 2 by Paramount Plus. Reading this from Deadline. It says Master Chief will stay locked and loaded for Paramount Plus, which has renewed Halo for a second season. The renewal was unveiled during a Viacom CBS presentation on Tuesday. I think for me, like, we watched the trailer, obviously. Go check out that trailer reaction on the channel right now. I just hope that this isn't like I hope the show doesn't suck and then they put out a season 2 and, it's like, you don't want to see more of the show because, we'll get to our rankings later, but I think we could both agree, like, right now, Paramount Plus is in at the top of the streaming services tree. But yeah, I'm interested to see kind of, what they do with season 1 and then how that filters into season 2. But I was just kind of surprised that they renewed it already. And I know they've seen it, obviously, but nobody has seen it. Nobody knows the critical acclaim and, response. I don't even know what the Paramount, I don't know if they released their like subscriber numbers. But like, what is that? What are they, how many subscribers do they have? I wonder. Like Paramount Plus. What about you? Do you have any opinion on this?
Same opinion. Oh gosh, what the hell? Same opinion as I had like in the trailer reaction that me and Brandon did, which is up on the channel right now. Of just like, I hope it's really good, and if we're getting a second season, I'm assuming it's probably more of a, because like you said, even critics haven't gotten advanced copies of this yet. Like, this is like a sight unseen renewal, so I'm thinking it's more of a situation of like it's just too big to fail. Like they have to put the money in, show the confidence up front to hopefully result in like a high viewership type of thing. Speaking of high viewership, looks like we got 4 people watching right now. Thanks for joining us. Let us know what you guys think of the Halo news that got renewed. Yeah, so like I said, I feel like it's just kind of a too big to fail thing where it's like they have to put the money behind it to show that they are confident to hopefully, in their minds, hopefully that will translate to, a bigger audience or broader audience appeal, basically. But yeah, that is what I think.
All right.
I would definitely give it a watch.
Yeah, same. Next is another Deadline story. Peacemaker renewed for season 2 by HBO Max.
Woo!
A season 2 of James Gunn's popular DC series Peacemaker is locked and loaded on HBO Max. Gunn will direct and write all episodes for the new season.
Wait, really?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
I think I haven't really.
I need to know this guy's schedule.
I think everybody's been great at directing each episode when it wasn't him this season, but
versus
this makes me,
Book of Boba Fett, where that was like the director directly correlated in the episodes being boop boop boop, boop. You know what I mean? I feel like Peacemaker through and through, all the way, whether it's James Gunn, whether it's any of the other directors, has felt absolutely Now, some people might say, well, I don't like it when it's multiple directors and it just feels like the same thing or whatever. Like, that's totally valid. I get that. But I'm not saying it felt like the same thing, like a homogenous thing. I'm saying they've all felt the same quality.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, they've all felt top tier television, superhero, everything that Peacemaker falls into. Like, you know what I mean? Action, comedy, everything like that. Michelle says, I'm so excited. Days of Our Lives will be back on Monday after the Olympics. I am so excited that Shark Tank will be back after the Olympics. Have you been watching the Olympics at all? You or Danielle?
I have not watched any of the Olympics. No.
Yeah, neither have I.
Is it exclusive to Peacock?
No, it's on.
okay.
Some events are on cable.
Oh, okay.
Everything's on Peacock.
Right.
But some events are on cable.
Gotcha. All right, and the last one real quick from Variety. Paramount Plus will be exclusive streaming home for Paramount movies by 2024. Paramount Plus will be the exclusive streaming home for all Paramount Pictures movies beginning in 2024. The announcement, which was made at Viacom CBS's Investor Day on Tuesday, is a sign of how much the media giant is investing in its streaming service. It means that the company will forego lucrative and profitable short-term licensing revenue in order to grow its library of content, and with it, build its subscriber base.
Yeah.
To me, this is interesting because it shows that they're really committed to Paramount Plus up to this point. Again, as I said, not at the top of the pyramid for me.
Not at the peak.
Not at the peak, yes.
Get it?
Of the pyramid of streaming services. And that is also like an interesting kind of, way of looking at it too. It's, most I feel like every movie goes to, PVOD before it comes to like an HBO Max or a Netflix or a Disney Plus or whatever. Just so you can have like a second life for movies, paying for them on demand. So I think that's interesting. I'm excited to see if it backfires.
Yeah. Because we've seen this it's not a model that we haven't seen. So like to break down for you guys like that might not know, the actual model is like, so what they're saying is right now Paramount still, even though they have Paramount Plus, Paramount still does like what Sony's doing, which made news with No Way Home, like that No Way Home is going to go to Starz for 6 months, and then it will go to Netflix for a year, and then it will find its final resting place on Disney Plus a long time from now, basically. Right. You know what I mean? Like, so Paramount does the same thing. It's like what TJ said there, the lucrative short-term licensing deals, which is like, okay, sure, yeah, our new, Sonic, like let's just say Sonic, for example. Sure, Showtime, you want to have Sonic for the first 3 months. If you're willing to pay us the money, all right, Sonic's going to go to show, it's kind of like first come, first serve basis, stuff like that. So what the model that they're basically moving to is like, make no mistake, yes, Paramount is a huge company, but there is a very big difference between the money behind and the size of Paramount versus something like Disney or Warner, because they're basically moving to like the Disney Plus model, which is everything that Disney releases just go now. Yes, it does get a physical release as well, but everything goes straight to Disney Plus. It does not go anywhere else. You will not find any new Disney movie. You will not find a new Disney movie on any other streaming service, I'm assuming, ever. It all just goes straight there. So it really is a big move. Like, I really don't know how it's going to work for them, because Disney can afford to do that, because Disney has really, they could always use more money, but Disney has really no need for that like short-term licensing stuff for their movies. Whereas Paramount, like, they're in a little bit more of a, precarious position basically when it comes to some of these titles, because what happens if Sonic 2 comes out and it's not the big hit that the first one was, or even worse, it's worse than the first one somehow. You know what I mean? Like, even though all indicators, yes, as good as the first Sonic was and as well loved that the first one was, this looks like it might be even better. But I mean, the worst could happen and it could be terrible. Yeah. The Star Trek franchise has never been a winning franchise box office wise. They're gonna do the 5th reboot of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Like, they announced a bunch of stuff, but it's like, you're really Knuckles a lot show. Of that's true, but that's not even gonna have box office yield, because that's just a television series. Like, they really have to. I feel like they really have to go like a mile wide and an inch deep first, and I feel like, in my opinion, I feel like they kind of skipped that part. I feel like they're really digging in. And they're like, we're just going for it. And I don't know. I feel like that's what Warner Brothers did. And I don't know about you, but I would call what happened with Warner Brothers and HBO Max last year not a success.
Correct. I would agree with that.
And that is a company the size of Warner Brothers. Like, that is a massive company, and even they couldn't pull it off. So, I don't know. What's your movie? It's a bold strategy, Cotton, but we'll see if it pays off for him.
Yes, Dodgeball. And Sonic 3 also in development already.
Yeah. See, that one makes more sense to me because, like, the first one was, like, so well received and made so much money. Like, that one I can kind of understand. But, like, I don't know. Like, all the Star Trek that they announced, too, like, because you can go online and almost every news outlet has, including the PFN Twitter account, has pretty much everything that came out of that Paramount event. Like, just they announced more iCarly's on the way, a bunch of new kind of Nickelodeon shows and revivals, and new SpongeBob series, new SpongeBob movies, stuff like that. As well as also they announced that obviously new stuff for South Park has been coming out on Paramount Plus, but the actual library of South Park has been on HBO Max. I don't know if they just paid a bunch of money or if it was some deal ended, but they're getting that back. So now all of South Park is going to live on Paramount Plus again.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Which is cool. But yeah.
Cool. Shout out to the 5 people watching right now. Please hit subscribe if you have not. Like the video and let us know in the chat, what you think of the Paramount Plus, or what are some of your favorite streaming services. All right, what was so do you want to talk about
a little Peacemaker and a little Euphoria?
A little Euphoria, and then we'll get into the rankings. Which one first? Peacemaker?
Sure.
All right. Peacemaker, episode, 6 or 7? 7? Fantastic. The biggest thing to come out of this episode, I thought, was we saw that John Cena can act. I mean, you knew he could act, like, comedian-wise, but can he get emotional? Can he,
I think
I thought that was fantastic.
I think he's been proving that since the Suicide Squad came out, but I think episode 7 made it that no one could ever question that again. You know what I mean? Because, like, he's had to go to depths that he's never had to in the Suicide Squad, as well as in this show or in earlier episodes. But this one, like you said, this was really, like, if anyone wants to step to John Cena and say that, I'll say, if anyone wants to step to him and say he is not the best actor, the best wrestler turned actor, not most successful, obviously.
Yeah.
Not a slight on him, just Dwayne The Rock Johnson is a fucking animal.
Level,
but Dwayne Johnson, Dave Bautista, whoever you want to throw out there, Big Show for, cameos in Star Trek and stuff as Alien number 3.
I didn't know that.
He was in an episode of Star Trek. He basically was playing like a Shrek.
Oh, okay.
But no, but really, like, those main 3, Dave Bautista is really, really good. Dave Bautista is also a great actor because, for me, Dwayne Johnson is the 3rd best actor out of all 3 of them.
But he's
he's the biggest star out of the 3 of them. But he's the worst actor out of the 3 of them. Yeah. I don't know if he has that range in him, but he rarely or
I feel like
never
his movies
uses
don't
it.
really.
Yeah. Maybe Black Adam will show us something new. I'm on board. I'm excited for Black Adam. But that being said, John Cena just blew right. Dave Bautista, that's great that you're in all your little, your little Denis Villeneuve art house, Blade Runners and Dunes and stuff. That's great, buddy. That you're
Guardians.
I was just gonna say that's great that you're an Avenger and stuff, whatever. But John Cena, could. This is a very out there, whatever. One day, John Cena could be nominated for like an Oscar. I could see that happening. I can't see that happening with Dave Bautista. I can't see that happening with Dwayne Johnson.
I think The Rock would be like an
honorary Oscar,
yes,
like a career.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, that I think would definitely.
And again, no
slight.
Just like
absolutely no slight on any of the 3. But yeah, John Cena just. Whew.
Yeah.
After he does what he does.
Yeah.
We'll say. After he makes his decision, when he just like breaks down, I was like, fuck, man. I was
Yeah.
like, damn, this guy.
You got me.
Yeah, I was like, I just felt for him so
Yeah.
much in that moment. Like, and yes, that was like a huge moment. Like, oh my God, he like, wow, like everything that just resolved for the character that he's been dealing with or whatever. But then for me, another great acting moment was just at the very end with him and Adebayo on the bus, where she's like,
yeah,
Chris,
damn. She's like, can we be friends? He's like, no.
yeah,
You-
he's
I was
like,
"Aw."
no, we're gonna finish this, and like, I'm like, yeah, man, she totally broke down his walls. He opened up to her. And I won't say like, oh, he thought they were genuinely friends. They were genuinely friends. And she just totally betrayed all of it. Just totally betrayed all of it with what she did. And you feel how real it is that she's like, I know what I did was wrong. Like, is there any way we could be friends or whatever? And he's like, we're going to finish the mission. I never want to fucking see your face again. Like, I was like, damn, man.
Yeah.
Oof, that was great.
Yeah, for me, like, one of the funniest moments of the episode was Judo Master like standing outside the convenience store, and
when he goes like making fun of the guy. I died. That was so funny.
Which I think he drove away, and we just don't see him again. So
yeah, he's definitely gonna be in the finale.
I think he'll be in the finale.
The actor tweeted he was like because shows are mostly shot out of order. He was like, the 7-Eleven day was my last day on set, and he was like, James basically just told me do what, like, they were just like riffing on what to do like the whole day, and he was like so he kind of like tweeted out his like, even though he basically said, even though I'm in the next episode, this was my last day on Peacemaker and stuff. So that was really cool, but hopefully he doesn't die, because he's a really funny
he's
character.
A funny character. Yeah. I thought even like the Mern Firefly,
and what happens,
or Butterfly. I keep calling them fireflies.
Yeah.
Butterfly, like,
you can call him a bird, like Vigilante.
Yeah, dying was like, oh damn, like that's pretty sad.
Yeah.
I liked the part when he realizes that they're tracking him through his helmet, and they tie it to I think it was a raccoon.
Yeah.
And they're sitting there. He goes, man, I didn't know it'd be so hard. And they got like scratches all over their face.
And then I absolutely love just James Gunn's writing and Steve Agee's delivery of when Economos he just says so deadpan, like, and it's such a long sentence, but it's just so funny when he just goes, that is exactly what I would have expected to happen if a grown man just started grabbing at a wild raccoon.
Yeah.
Like, he just says it so matter-of-factly. It's like such a weird thing that, like, because Chris, like, Chris was just trying to make small talk where he's just like, hey, man, raccoons are hardcore. And, like, Economos is just so over his shit. Like, and also later in the episode when he's like, crinkle a bag or something, and he's like,
get him in the car.
Who the fuck feeds a bird chips? Like, and then he sees the fucking White Hoods coming, and he just he just books it and goes through the car. Like, that was so funny. Oh my God.
I thought that was great when Vigilante like pops up and he just like is murdering dudes.
Yeah,
like left
and then
and right.
Economos pops back in, and he's I was like, damn, all three of them. I was like, the teamwork was great, and then also, you gotta give shout out to as good as John Cena was in this, proving that he's a great actor. Jennifer Holland, Harcourt.
Yeah,
she brought it this episode, man. I believe that she was like, as it was happening, like, I believe she was like falling apart. She was like, well, there goes any chance we fucking had, and it's like, no, bro. You're the chance. You are, it's like typical, like, who's gonna lead us now? You are, Amelia.
Yeah.
But yeah, fucking incredible episode. I cannot wait for the finale.
I'm excited to see what happens, because they renewed for season 2.
I know.
So maybe it'll just be another news story or a continuation of this.
Like we kind of talked about in the past couple weeks, I feel like they're gonna resolve it, because there was never any intention of multiple seasons, like, when they made it. So
yeah, I think it's in this or I don't think it's in the preview. they'll like you see like what the cow looks like.
Yeah, that's the very end of the episode.
Yeah, that's not. I was like, oh, it'll be a cow, like
Yeah.
a literal cow, and I was like, oh, that's not what.
That
I
was
expected.
terrifying.
It was very terrifying.
And did you notice how the way that it's shot, like before it reveals its bigger set of eyes, when it's like this, you think that like that's just its face with the little eyes,
Right?
and then it goes even bigger, and it's like, oh, those are like the small eyes, and the way that it's just like it's just like screaming. It's like
unsettling.
holy shit.
Yeah.
And I will say this too. I feel like if the landing is stuck at all with the finale, like 2, this show is just so it deals with such like heavy and good drama and shit, but it's also just so light and fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's gonna lend itself to rewatches and just over and over again, like so much. I feel just because it's such like a fun environment to kind of revisit and be in. Yeah, I'm super excited. And then check out it's tonight.
It is tonight.
Wow.
I won't be able to watch till tomorrow, but
yeah, neither. Yeah, because I got work at. Oh well, I got work at 10, so if I just wake up, I'll probably watch it in the morning. But yeah, so I'll have I'll give my my TikTok review on those channels, and then at some point this weekend we'll release
a
wrap up of now what we can say season 1 of Peacemaker. We didn't give a star rating. What do you?
I'd probably give it 5 out of 5.
Yeah,
this
same.
episode.
5 out of 5. I thought Vigilante. I feel like he pulled back on the annoyance as well, because I know that was something that we talked about with the last episode. Also, shout out to the nurses that were like totally ready to go like Rambo mode. They're like we're coming too.
Oh yeah.
And they were like,
funny.
You're not coming with us.
Yeah.
You die they go, don't you need the help? And Harcourt's like, you die immediately. What help would you like?
And then when they left, they were like, well, at least they were nice.
Yeah. And then they go, except for that, like about Vigilante. He goes, except for that guy in blue. That guy's fucked up. Like that was so funny. But yeah, so that'll do it for the Peacemaker talk.
On to the most.
Well, let's just get right into it. Euphoria. Yeah. What did you think of this episode? Coming off of the incredible last week episode, focusing basically solely on Rue, featuring her destroying Cassie's life. We now see I will call this episode like the fallout. Basically, we see kind of where we're at with everything. What did you think of it?
I thought it was really good. I'm trying to think, because I'm trying to remember. I watched it on Sunday at 11 o'clock after everybody, left from the Super Bowl. I thought it was a good episode. It starts where it's kind of like, oh, is this another Rue episode? And then we kind of get everybody else. Still no. We see, Fez and Lexi on the couch.
I mean, this is like the most.
This is the most we've got.
They held hands.
They did hold hands. I'm a little suspicious of what's her name, the blonde girl with the big lips that is staying at their house. Faye and I don't think Ashtray is gonna do anything.
Yeah.
I trust him, but Faye is
Suspect.
She's sus because she talked to what's his name, her boyfriend or whatever.
Yeah. Outside
in the rain, and then she came in and she was like, "It's raining." It's like, yeah. And she went and took a shower. Mm-hmm. So I think something's gonna happen there. Because people are, I think it was what's his name, Bird or what was that guy's name? The big drug dealer.
Mouse.
Mouse's wife came and was like, "Hey, like, where is he?" or something. And
yeah, because we still don't know. Because that guy showed up and he said that thing to Fez. And we were like, "What the fuck is that?"
Right.
And then it never got back to it.
Right. Which this show does a lot.
Yeah.
I thought it was really heartbreaking at the end when Rue's mom is trying to get her to go, and it seems like she's willing at this point. Like she wasn't gonna.
When she's on the phone with the hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was rough.
And she's like begging for them to take her I guess so she can't leave, because I was like, is that a thing you can do? Because I was like, isn't that how all Danielle was like, no, I think it's like it's a place where you can't leave voluntarily because there's ones you can and you can't.
Yeah.
Or something. I was like, well, I was like, wouldn't she qualify for that? I mean, she's doing like heroin and shit like
like
that.
you'd think, yeah, but like I mean, I know like I've had friends and stuff that have not for like drug issues or whatever, but like I've had friends that have had to like go into like the hospital and stuff, and literally they will be like, I need this, and they'll be like, we don't have room. And it's like that's it. And then the alternative, which is exactly like it happened on the show, is like the alternative is, well, you can go to the hospital and you can go to they basically put you in the mental ward,
right,
and just strap you in. And it's like, well, what the fuck is that? And like that's what they were trying. She was like, no, she can't just go to the hospital. Like she needs a bed. Like,
I think for me, for this episode, the most egregious thing, and just every week Sam Levinson keeps proving me right, or just making me more believe that they really just chopped Kat's role in this show out the window.
I'm done with her. There are so many characters this season that I'm just fucking fed up with, and I'm with you, Sam Levinson. No, not really. Do not take that out of context if things come out in the future about him. But no, really, like obviously whatever's happening with her act, like the actress or whatever, and Sam Levinson, like that needs to be handled, whatever. But the character of Kat, I am so beyond just done. I don't know if you remember. I think it was episode 1 or episode 2, where I was like, I went on my whole thing where I was like, I just genuinely don't enjoy watching Nate Jacobs as a character anymore. And like that was like a big gripe of mine, that I was like, they're going too far. That has been like they've done a lot of interesting stuff with Nate this year that I'm like, all right, that I'm past. Especially this week with his little meetup with Jules and stuff, and apparently, I don't know, not trying to be a good person, but trying to make amends in certain aspects or something. So that is cool. But Kat, they got to do something, because they just keep putting her in the same like rut over and over again. And it's like, I don't know, I guess just because like she just did so much fucked up shit. Like when she broke up with Ethan, like everything he was saying is exactly what she did. And she's just like, you're gaslighting me. You're making me feel crazy. And she's like, oh, and now you're trying to break up with me? Yeah. You're fucking crazy. And he's just like, yeah, I am. Like,
I mean, I know,
just done.
And if she really did have a like life-threatening like brain disease, I think she calls it.
Yeah, we'd know about
one, we'd know about it, and in a real life situation, like you would feel really bad, like saying you're lying, but at the same time, it's like he knows she's lying, so it's like, it's like, what am I supposed to do here? Like, you want to break up with me? You're telling me this, crazy story because you don't know how else to do it, and when I call you out on it, you get mad at me.
Yeah,
I'm like,
it's
well,
like
what do you want me to do?
He's trying to give you the easy out.
Yeah, all he's saying is like, okay, just say you don't want to be with me, and I'll leave. Like,
yeah, and I'll leave right now. Like,
and another thing to me is like, we are told a lot of their kind of relationship not being. I feel like we're told more than we're shown of their relationship being odd. And to me, that doesn't work. Like, show me them more together. And again, maybe there's scenes that were cut of them being together more and them not being, obviously, right for each other. But like, I feel like the last like thing I saw was just them at dinner, and I think this was 2 episodes ago.
Yeah,
them at dinner with the mom, and the mom's
dinner was
like,
2 episodes ago, and bowling was 4 episodes.
Yeah,
ago.
And the mom's like, tell me about yourself, and she's like, I don't really know. Like, and we're like, oh yeah, like I get that, and the mom's like an asshole, and then like I feel like that's like that's the last time we see them together, and then they're breaking up. So it's like, okay. So we just kind of, and Ethan, I thought was an interesting character. I don't know if we're going to see him again. I wouldn't be surprised if we did not, because I feel like he kind of probably served his purpose at this point. Just get together with Kat, maybe change her kind of, her personality a little bit. Maybe he's trying to build her up, because she's kind of having these, issues with the way she sees herself, as we see in episode 1 or 2, I think it is. But now he's gone. So it's like, okay, we're just going to put her back. And honestly, I would not be surprised. I don't know if you saw the preview for next week. I would not be surprised if the only line she has in the next episode is when I think she says something when they're watching the play. And that's it. Like, I would not be surprised if that's like her only line,
Mm-hmm.
or if she has no lines.
Yeah.
Because she's just like, I don't know. I feel like she's very much a secondary character where it's like, it's really just like a, we have Cassie and Maddie, and we have Rue and Jules, and then that's kind of
like Nate.
And Nate, yeah. That's just me though.
Like, I feel like Lexi has kind of taken her spot this year.
Yeah. Yes, I would agree with that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, we have that other friend that we do not see anything about at all.
Yeah.
I don't even know what her name is.
Me and my roommate call her Lizzie because she looks just like my roommate's like stepsister. She looks and sounds exactly like her. I have no idea what her actual name is, but that's just what we call her. But yeah, she was in like the first 2 episodes ago, or the first 2 episodes.
2 episodes ago.
No, I don't know why my brain keeps trying to say ago. It's just she was in the first like 2 episodes. But then the weird thing was, like, wouldn't you think that she would have been, or maybe she was at Maddie's part? Like, why wasn't she in the hot tub? Is my question. Because out of everyone in that group,
maybe she's just a school friend. She's more like an acquaintance.
Because she was at Cassie's house with them earlier in the season.
Oh.
But like, my thing is, out of everyone, she's the best of friends with Maddie, and it was Maddie's birthdays. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if he knows what he's writing. But yeah.
One more thing I want to talk about is something that you said earlier, how they're kind of turning around Nate, not redeeming him, but making him a better character to watch, changing him. And I thought that you bring it up, it just popped in my head, like the scene with his mom, and she's like, you were such a sweet young like baby, and then at whatever age, like it just like you just turned into this really dark asshole. And I think that's really was the catalyst for him that episode. I mean, granted, she says that, he internalizes it, and then he immediately grabs a gun and goes to Maddie's house and steals the disc back.
Yeah.
So that was kind of like but then he gives it to Jules, which is kind of like did he really redeem? He didn't really redeem that moment, but like, he still did a good thing, I guess.
Yeah.
Did you see? Now I pointed it out when I was watching the episode, and nobody really. I saw like one TikTok about it. That Maddie has like a sticker on her wall that says "Smile, you're on camera."
Yeah.
So do you think there's a possibility that she actually has a camera in her room? That like that whole thing was.
Ooh, recorded.
Yeah, I think that'd be interesting.
I didn't think about that. I saw that sticker. Yeah.
Right.
Wow. I don't know. That's interesting.
That whole like thing though was messed up. Like he's pointing a gun to his head and he's like playing Russian roulette.
I was
like, what the hell?
I saw something that might be even more messed up. I don't know if you saw it or not, but when him and his mom are talking, and she's like right next to him, did you notice anything?
I noticed it.
Okay, thank you, because I was like, I had to rewind it to show my roommate because she missed it because I think we were talking about how weird everything was, and I was like, he just fucking. This is what we're talking about. The look, right?
Yeah.
He like checked out his mom or something.
It was really weird.
It was very like I was like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, I don't know, man. That guy is fucked up. Like they're like, yes, okay, whatever. He's trying to, like we said, he's not becoming a better person, but he's trying to change his ways, I think. But he will never not be fucked up like to the root. Like that guy is no matter what he does, when he becomes an adult, he will be his father. Like no, minus a few aspects.
Maybe not
that we know of. Yeah, actually.
Well, he said to Jules like everything I said was. So I mean I don't know if that is is that a like I don't know if they've ever like addressed. They might have. They probably have, right? They probably said like her being trans is like a thing in the show.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Right. So like, he could be like bisexual
true,
or something,
Yeah.
And maybe they get into that, maybe they don't. I don't know. They kind of hinted at it because again, he said like everything I said was true. Mm-hmm. So
as like, what was it Shy Guy 18
Shy,
or
whatever it was, Tyler.
Tyler.
Right. I thought
Oh my god.
I didn't think Sydney Sweeney had a really good episode. I thought she was great in
Yeah.
the episode. Like people were talking about
She's
like the
great
whole
again.
season, like, oh, it's gonna be Sydney Sweeney's like this year, and like Zendaya was like, hold my beer.
Yeah.
But then I think Sydney Sweeney was like, no, I'm still good. Like I
Yeah.
can, you know.
But also, like we pointed out, it would be 2 separate categories.
Right.
So
yes,
we're good.
yes, yeah.
Unless I have not finished Ozark, but we could have great performances out of Laura Linney or Ray Seahorn, Kim Wexler. Still got Better Call Saul.
Oh yeah,
coming up.
Better Call Saul. Yeah.
So she might. I mean, those two are the only ones that I think. But again, Kim Wexler, Wendy Bird, those would be up against Zendaya. So because for leads, Sydney Sweeney, I don't know. I don't really know what the competition is gonna look like for the Emmys for like a supporting.
I mean that's a long way from now, so it's like
Yeah, that's what worries me though is that there's so much TV to get through. Yeah. Hopefully they remember, because the show is definitely way weaker this season than it was the first season, without doubt. But I feel like some of the performances are miles above last season for a lot of these people, including Zendaya. I feel like she had way more screen time in season 1, but I feel like that just makes her so much more like potent this year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, so when we do get like last week, like with just like full Rue episode, it's like, oh my god, this is amazing.
Yeah, I don't know. Does that narration theory, does this episode kind of hurt that?
yeah, absolutely. So other people have done it, but Danielle every week has been on this narration theory that the narration is tied to Rue's sobriety. I'm 100% a believe, like I believe. Like I'm in because she's absolutely right. Like it was the whole first season. It was totally normal every episode. Then she was like fine the first week, fine the second week. Then she was like starting to stumble on it. Then it wasn't there for a while. Then she was like being kind of like loopy with the narration. Then when she full on just went like berserk, there was no narration. And now right at the start of this episode, we're back with not only the narration, but the normal music that goes along with the narration. And she like sounds calm and like, just like her narration normally does. I believe it 100%. It's like I felt like the narration, Zendaya's voice sounded like Rue like mentally reset. So yeah, I agree 100%. I don't know. I don't think that's ever going to be something that like a theory that could ever really be like confirmed, because it's not happening in the actual story. So like, how would we know without Zendaya or Sam Levinson just being like, oh yeah, that's what we intended. But I think 100%. I agree with that 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also shout out. We got Ali back, which I thought was great.
We did
cooking dinner for the family.
Yeah. And I liked that message where, her mom's instinct is to be like, Gia, like, stop, your sister needs your support or whatever. And Ali's like, if somebody, he's just so brutally honest because he lived through it. Like, he's like, it's okay. He's like, Gia, if
you want to be mad at her, you can.
If you want to be mad at, if somebody repeatedly lets you down every time you put your faith in them, it's okay to lose hope. Right. That's not on you. That's on her. That's on Rue. Like, just because Rue is going through something and we need to be supportive for her doesn't mean that Rue isn't the only reason that we're going through it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Which brings me to the last thing I'm going to say.
Okay.
Which is my biggest criticism. Where are the consequences, man? Where are the repercussions of last week? She committed crimes. She was
I don't think you're going to get that.
That's what I'm saying, though, is that at least Lori, like, I was expecting, like,
she's
Fez,
coming back. Lori will.
But I was expecting, like, Fez to get his, like, knee, his knees like busted
broken,
or something. Yeah, like, or something like, it just did, that just, like, that has to come back for me. Because I'm like, okay, if you're never going to bring that back, I've seen enough Breaking Bad. I've seen enough Daredevil. There you go. Yeah. I've seen enough Daredevil to know.
I finished season 1, by the way. Daredevil.
There you go, man. Get as much of season 2. You're not ready for season 2, man. You know what happens in season 2.
I don't know what happens in season 2.
Get ready to get punished.
Oh yes, finally. Okay, cool.
Bro, that is all what season 2
The whole
is.
season?
The whole season is
okay. I
I
thought it was like one episode. He
No. He like is season 2.
Okay, cool.
Shout out Daredevil. You guys have 10 days to watch it. But
better show up on Hulu like March 1st.
I don't know. There's rumors that it's just going. I mean, they're not rated R technically. Like, so
Disney
there's
Plus?
rumors that it's going to Disney Plus. Yeah, I mean,
okay, fine with me wherever it goes.
but I agree with you though. I think at the end of the day, I think it's going to be like a Hulu for us, and then Disney Plus Star for whatever. Because they do swear sometimes.
Yeah.
And it's very bloody. It's very, very bloody. But anyways, Daredevil's great. I've seen enough Daredevil to know, when you fuck with human traffickers, they come back.
Yeah.
They do not just like she got away, on to the next one. That's not how that works. So I would like to see realistic repercussions for that stuff. Now, maybe we are seeing that with what the guy told Faye, that he said, listen, Fez is going to get raided or whatever, whatever he basically implied, that he's working with the authorities. So maybe
he already got raided, didn't he?
When?
Didn't he get raided earlier in the season? Because weren't they flushing drugs down the toilet? Do you remember that? Do you remember?
No, that was like last season.
That was last season?
Yeah, that was last season. But that wasn't a raid. That was just like, I think they were just getting, I think they were there for something else or something and then just started searching it.
Oh.
But either way, I think this time it was like, that was when he was just like a drug dealer getting drugs from Mouse. Now he's working directly with and for Lori.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's like, Fez is now, like, if he were to get raided, like, in a much worse situation, a much like more intertwined situation with the shitstorm, basically. But yeah, that's just my only thing is like, all right, I get like if we're not gonna circle back to it or whatever, but like especially the thing with the cops, like that's just one of those things that just like bugs me. That whatever, I get that it probably shouldn't bug me, but it's just like she was.
The home invasion thing, I get.
Yeah, like she was 100% talked to, saw, and it had to have interacted with those like they can ID her. Her mom probably called the cops with her description. The cops then chased her for blocks and blocks and blocks, where there was like 6 cops chasing her. Which if it was the real world, like, and they had the like the body cam or whatever, like. They would have her footage of who she is, but regardless, whatever. I get that it's a TV show. But other than that, it's if they can keep going on this better trajectory, it's still not perfect. It's still not great or as great as last season. But if they can continue this good momentum, I feel like that they have. Next week, it looks like we are getting the play next week.
Finally.
Yeah. So. And I did watch. I did watch the
preview.
The preview, yeah. So I liked when Maddie was like, she was like, "Is this play about us?"
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, no fucking shit. Like, I thought that was really fucking funny.
Whoops.
Yeah. But yeah, I feel like Fez is really gonna try and be like a better guy or whatever for Lexi, and then I feel like right when he's getting shit together to be with Lexi or to make a move with Lexi, I feel like he's gonna get the shackles thrown on him or something. I feel like something bad's gonna go down at the end of next week's episode. Same. But yeah, that'll do.
We finally get our Fez Lexi moment.
I know,
that'd be cool.
Maybe
all right.
they kiss as the cops are like trying to pull him away.
Probably, yeah. Okay, so. Next, and finally, we're going to do our streaming services rankings. So we're going to do basically like the main 8. So we got Netflix, we got HBO Max, we got Hulu, Disney Plus, Peacock, Apple TV Plus, Paramount Plus, and which one did I not say?
Hulu?
I thought I said Hulu. Hold on. No. Where are my notes? Prime. Amazon Prime is the other one.
TJ, it's called Prime Video.
Prime Video. Sorry. So where do you want to? How do you want to start? Also, is it
Jesus? Remember when it was just Netflix?
Yeah, this just came to my
happened
mind.
to this
Can you get Prime Video without subscribing to Amazon Prime?
No, it's just the same thing.
Interesting. Okay. I mean, I don't know what.
Which
2-day shipping.
Which
and all that other
honestly,
stuff,
I don't know
but-
how in depth you want to get with this. I imagine it's not gonna be too in depth.
I mean, I figure we take
we'll
into
go
account
more-
like kind of UI maybe stuff like.
And then I was gonna say like value for money too, which honestly I think if we want to just start off, if I can throw out my feeling on one of them, I think value for money technically Prime Video takes it because technically you're paying.
I mean,
It's first of all, Amazon Prime is only if you pay monthly for Amazon Prime, which is the most expensive way to get Amazon Prime. The most expensive way to get it is only $12 a month.
oh, okay.
And that includes everything with Amazon Prime. So if you really take out that benefit of it, honestly, if the streaming service was by itself, it'd be like $8.
Yeah, I mean, mine is really content based.
Yeah.
But I'm willing to discuss.
I'm sorry. Can you?
Sorry,
all right. So I got
UI,
Peacock,
stuff like that.
Hulu, HBO Max, Disney Plus, Prime Video, Netflix. Do we do Apple TV?
Apple TV I threw on my list.
Okay, Apple TV Plus. What am I missing here?
Paramount Plus?
Paramount Plus. I feel like I'm missing a big
A lot of pluses.
I feel like I'm missing a big one though. I guess. Not.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But
Well,
I went
you
on,
said there's 8 though. I have 8.
I went on just watch it or
Yeah.
whatever, and I scrolled through them. I was like, yeah, that seems like all of them.
Yeah.
Like I was like, I don't count Stars or Showtime
Or like
anything
Discovery Plus.
that. Yeah, I didn't count that.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I could literally just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. All right, that's it. Yeah. But God, like I say, remember when it was just fucking Netflix?
Yes, I do. On my
dark-
Wii, I remember
Before the dark
streaming.
times.
All right, so so like I said, mine is really content based,
Okay.
in my opinion.
Wait, so are we doing individual rankings, or are we like making a combined one?
I wasn't gonna we never combined them, so I wasn't going
True. Okay, that's fine.
to. So do you want to do? Should we even do punts? I don't know. Like,
No.
okay. So do you want to just go one by one? Because it's only an 8 list, and we're only an hour 15 in. We have a decent amount of time. We have like half an hour, 45 minutes.
Oh, hang on. Let me read that.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, let me just get caught up. So Michelle said, "OMG, Ozark is nuts." When I talked about Ozark, and then she said, "I love Netflix, but I feel like last year." I agree with this right off the bat. But I feel like last year there hasn't been much new content. I have seen the same documentaries listed for months with very little change, if any. The problem with Netflix is there's always new content. There's so much new content. The problem is 0.001% of it is any good.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? The reason that you're seeing the same documentaries is because that's all people are watching. People are only watching the good shit. You know, granted, sometimes, you know, something that's not that good will slip through and it'll trend and stuff, and then people will watch it. It doesn't change the quality of it. But that's the thing, is that Netflix puts out, like, I think at least like 10 or 15 new things a week. That includes, like, you know, documentaries, episodes, movies, you know, everything like that. But they put out like 10 or 15 things a week. It's just that most of it is absolute garbage. You know, apart from things like Cobra Kai or, you know, Witcher, Umbrella Academy, Stranger Things. But those are, you know, I could name.
I mean, it's not, this list isn't just, I just want to make sure we're on the same page. It's not just based on original content.
No, yeah,
Okay,
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I just mean for her chat.
Yeah.
Just, I just feel like, you know, of their original content, you could maybe name 10 that are like the hits.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Maybe
Stranger
10.
Witcher.
Umbrella Academy. That's
Umbrella
3.
Academy. I mean,
Cobra Kai,
Daredevil
which
is
isn't technically
theirs.
them. Daredevil, I would definitely include in the top 10 of
Yeah.
Netflix originals. I'm at 5. I'm at 5, and nothing.
The Old
is...
Guard was good. People like that. Oh, like a Midnight Mass or like one of those.
like the Blind Man or
People
like the
that, yeah.
like the Oh
that was a big one.
What is his fucking name? What's the guy's name that directed? He did.
Oh my God! It just came to me and then it went.
The Shining sequel and Mike Flanagan.
Flanagan, yep.
Jesus, I pulled it. Schmodown. Do you see that everybody's like retiring?
Yeah, I seen
Sam Levine's retiring. Coy's retiring.
Apparently. Oh, that too.
Yeah, I like everybody's
I just saw
fucking
announcements.
retiring.
I didn't see.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So do we want to start? Who wants to start? I guess.
You can start.
All right. So my number 8 is Paramount Plus. Or maybe we should we do punts? I don't know. I guess we might as well. All right. So is that a punt for you?
No.
Okay.
Well, since there's only 8, we should just do like bottom 4 and then top 4 for a punt.
Okay.
But no, it isn't. That's not a punt.
Okay. So your 8 is also Paramount Plus.
I'll get back to you on that.
Oh, so you're still thinking?
Yeah, but we can talk about it.
Okay.
You can talk about it.
Yeah, for me, Paramount Plus is, I mean, when it first launched, I said it was the most void of content thing that I'd ever seen. For me, it was like do they not produce Mission Impossible? Don't they do? Aren't those the? Aren't they? Yeah. When I went to it at the time, it might have been better. It might be better now. But there was one Mission Impossible movie.
Remember, there was that week where it was huge news that in 1 week they added like 10,000 titles.
Right, and I was like, okay, you know, whatever. But like, you know, I know they're coming with like Halo and Sonic series and stuff like that. Yeah. They're coming, but like the really only thing I used it to watch was Champions League soccer, and that's kind of it. They have iCarly. Don't get me wrong. And iCarly was pretty, subpar, at least for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, Paramount Plus is the one that like I would probably really want to go without. I've had a few problems too with like streaming soccer. Like sometimes it just like cuts out, like it just like stops streaming it for some reason. They have Avatar now, I believe.
Paramount
they
Plus
have all
is
Nickelodeon
my 7.
stuff. You're 7?
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, for me, it's it's a fine service. It's fine. It's not great. It's not. I'd say it's a non-necessity.
Peak entertainment,
as
they say.
No. What is another big? They have another big franchise.
Might want to work on your
Mission Impossible and
Star Trek.
Yeah, Star Trek.
Yeah.
I think they have all the movies now, but when I first got it, they did not.
No, when they launched, they only had Mission Impossible 1.
Yeah.
1 and 2, because it was the first one and the
I gotta get back on the Star Trek movie watch, because I was gonna watch
where were you at?
I only had watched the first and the Wrath of Khan.
Oh,
I was gonna get onto the third one, but then it was like gone from, I think it was Hulu or something, and then it was kind of up in the air where I don't think it was anywhere.
You know what I did just remember?
What's that?
I'm continuing my. I guess I realized the pattern that I'm doing is, for some reason, I'm watching like book adaptation franchises. Like I've just been like, I can't get enough of them. I watched the extended editions of all The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings. Still good. Just wanted to check in with people there.
Fellowship of the Ring, not boring.
No, I don't know what. Oh, but one thing that was like, I thought it had to have been a mistake, because I was watching shit that I've never seen before. Somehow I have never seen, before 2 days ago, I had never seen the extended edition of The Two Towers. And I've owned the Blu-ray.
I have
for
them
10
on
years.
4K, and I have not watched them.
Yeah,
yet.
I've owned the extended edition for like maybe not 10 years, but like at least 5 years.
That's like a whole. That's like an 11-hour a day experience, right?
They're all
because they're
an
all
hour longer.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
So like Fellowship was 4, Two Towers was 4, and then Return of the King was 4.5.
Whew. So you're watching basically Lawrence of Arabia. Oh, how long is Lawrence of Arabia? Is that close to 4? Or is that 3
That's
and a half?
340, I think.
340. So it's almost watching Lawrence of Arabia 3 times in a day.
Yeah. Yeah, like I did the math, and the 6 movies of the Middle Earth saga, or whatever you want to call it, the 6 extended editions. Actually, the 6 extended editions beat it by far, but the 6 regular ones is also longer than all 8 Harry Potter movies.
Wow.
Yeah, like, but the extended editions are longer by like 5 hours, but even just the non-extended ones are longer than the 8 Harry Potter movies by like 2 hours, or by like an hour and a half or something like that.
I gotta watch. I have them on 4K, like on my shelf. I just
the Hobbit or the Lord of the Rings.
The Lord of the Rings.
Oh, okay, because HBO Max they don't have the extended editions of the Lord of the Rings. They have the extended editions of the Hobbit.
Okay.
They have all 3 extended editions, which the also it's not as good as Lord of the Rings, but the fucking Hobbit is like great. When you watch them like all 3 back to back to back like that, like I get it. I get the gripe that like
I'm surprised there's extended editions when people said it shouldn't have been. It should have been one movie anyway.
Exactly, but it's like also it's like I think about it a lot, especially compared to Harry Potter, like where people are like, well, the problem is you can't fit Goblet of Fire into one 2-hour movie, and then people complain. Well, guess what? They made 3 Hobbit movies, and they were able to cover literally everything that happens in that book. You know what I mean? They even added stuff.
Yeah.
They added Legolas and stuff like that. But it's like, what do you want? Do you complain when you get, a 600-page book turned into a 2-hour film, and then you complain when you get a 200-page book turned into, 6 hours of film? Which one do you want? So I'm fine with it. And I fucking love Martin Freeman as Bilbo. Richard Armitage as Thorin Oakenshield is like probably, in my opinion, the most underrated Middle-earth character is Thorin, like the Dwarf King from the Hobbit movies. And then you get fucking 3 more movies with Ian McKellen as Gandalf. What do you want? And Elijah Wood, back in the bookends on either end as Frodo. Like, they're great. They're great.
All right.
Sorry.
No,
Sorry
you're good.
for that.
So, did you talk about Paramount Plus or that?
I didn't. I agree with everything that you said. I it's my number 7. I really enjoy Star Trek Discovery, but I have not. A, I haven't had the time. B, I just haven't found myself going to watch season 3. I binged season 1 and season 2. Now, what I will tell you that I'm excited for is Strange New Worlds, which is the new show coming out that follows Anson Mount's Captain Christopher Pike. That interests me a lot because that's just like seems like it's just going to be a simple, like, basically as close to what the original series of Star Trek was in the modern time. You know what I mean? And that really interests me. That we're just going to see, because Discovery started as that, but now it's like, everybody on the Discovery's got some fated purpose. They time traveled into like 1,000 years into the future to save humanity. And it's like, well, I don't want to see them have to be the savior of humanity every season. You know what I mean? Just give me, Christopher Pike going to planet every week. Give me Doctor Who, but with Star Trek. That's I feel like when Star Trek shows, at least, Star Trek TV shows are at their best, when it's just like, kind of episodic, new shit every week, just going through it. I really like that. And then I really like iCarly. I did like the reboot of it. And then originals aside, I think now that they have their act together, great catalog. Now that they have all that stuff, you can live in whatever corner of the Star Trek universe you wanna live in. You can watch your Mission Impossibles. Now, granted, like I said, I do put it at 7 because you have to take into consideration it took them so long to get everything like that off the ground. That was very frustrating. Because it was very, very bare bones. Also, I think there is something to be said of NFL on CBS being on there. I have watched a fair few because we hadn't been watching the YouTube TV, so we got rid of it for a while. So I watched probably all except maybe like the first Bills game this year that was a CBS game, I watched on Paramount Plus.
Oh, okay.
Which was good. You know, it was a good clean stream and stuff. And I like that like you can fire up the streaming service and it's not just original content, but they have live, you know, sporting events that I want to watch, like the Bills games and stuff. Like, I think that's a good element of it that like something like a Netflix just doesn't have. They just don't have that element of it that they can't, you know, they're trying to get it. Believe me, they're like, you know, they're trying to. I know I was listening to a podcast that said that the worldwide distribution of live cricket is their contract with the BBC, their like 15-year contract is up this year.
Oh.
So everybody's like trying to steal it away from BBC to, you know, because really the only place technically you could get it here is like BBC America in the middle of the night. So I think they're trying to like get it away from them. More power to Netflix if you can get a live sport thing, because I feel like that's what Netflix is missing, is just kind of, I feel like a lot of people want to just throw something on, and Paramount has that where you can just watch a channel. It's the same kind of thing that Peacock has with like the more channel thing, and then now Netflix has introduced the like play something or shuffle mode, whatever you want to call it. I feel like people really want that. So yeah, it's 7, but it's still solid. I don't think there's a bad one. I don't think there's a bad streaming service on this list. And I think we did leave off some bad streaming services. Like we could have included Quibi. But even beyond that thing, you know, there are things like Fubo TV and Tubi and stuff. Tubi's actually pretty good, but I wouldn't really consider it a streaming service.
I mean, those are live TV.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's why I wouldn't really consider it like a streaming service. But Tubi does, you know, it's completely free and it does have some good content. But let's go to my number 8. My number 8, I don't know, it might you might be like, what the fuck are you talking about? My number 8 has on it maybe the best show I've ever seen, and that's Apple TV Plus. It's my number 8.
I guess like, how do I do this exactly? Am I punting if
Is it in your top 4?
No.
Then we can talk about it.
Okay, yeah. And so Apple TV is actually my 6. What are you talking about? For me, Apple TV, they don't have a lot of stuff, but the quality of their stuff is very good. Mm-hmm. You have, again, Morning Show season 1 was very good. Ted Lasso, I feel like it's just up there for Ted Lasso alone. But they have, you know, Coda. They have, I haven't seen it yet, but the Swan Song, which is supposed to be really good with Marshall Ali. And they're working a lot with Tom Hanks, and they did, I don't know, they just seem to be like, and they had like Macbeth and stuff like that. I mean, the more I'm talking about it now, I'm started to fade if it's too high. I might move it down to 7.
I've been counting on my hands, and that's 5.
That's 5 things. I think I'll move it down to 7.
That's
I'm gonna move it down to 7.
Which I will say,
for me, I think a lot of it is the UI. The UI is just so crisp and clean to me. Like, I love going on the app.
That's why I got the cheat, because almost every streaming service. Because I got the Google TV.
The Google TV.
Google TV is
thing.
That is.
And they got Charlie Brown. They do have Charlie Brown on Apple TV.
This guy has like, I don't know what that top bar is at Apple. Is that continue watching, or is that previously watched or something? So I loaded it up today. You're loaded up with Charlie Brown. There's like 4 Charlie Brown specials.
Yeah, Thanksgiving, Christmas.
It's Christmas time again, Charlie Brown. That was what it auto suggested to me, and I was like, I'm here to watch a deaf family.
I'll move it down to 7. I'm gonna.
Well, don't change it. You know, on what I see.
No, I know, but the more I talk about it, I was like, there really isn't much content.
But I will say, I have like 20 minutes left in Coda, and then I'll do a review for that for the TikTok and stuff. That's phenomenal. I am assuming, I'm going off of assumption alone, that Macbeth is as good as everyone says that it is. So, you know, if they keep putting out high quality film content like that, sign me up. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have to sign up because I use yours. But, you know, if they keep pumping out high quality like film content like that, great, more power to you. Like, bring that stuff on. That's like the stuff that I want to see.
Yeah.
I would have.
They have that.
Honestly,
don't they have that show with Ewan and Ethan Hawke? Is that a show or a movie or something?
Oh, I don't know.
I think they're like brothers or something. I remember hearing something about it.
I don't know. That sounds good. Might be talking about those two people a little later in the list. But yeah, that's my bottom. All right, so then
that was my 7.
Yeah, so I'm assuming our 6 is the same.
Probably.
Peacock.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Peacock is something that I don't really go back to, or well, I mean, I can't now since you canceled it.
Yeah.
But something I really went to at all. I watched Halloween 2021 on there, or Halloween Kills. I watched some of the John Wayne Gacy documentary.
Wait, when does Evil die?
Tonight. I watched some of that documentary, and I never went back to it. It was good. We just didn't go back to it.
Yeah.
For the longest time, I docked points, if there was points, because it wasn't on Amazon Fire Stick for the longest time. And then it finally launched.
Contract disputes is something.
Yes,
yeah.
yeah.
Availability.
Yeah.
Is definitely a
availability
factor.
Was very, very poor at the beginning.
Yeah.
I had to sideload it onto the Fire Stick.
Also, again, not nearly as bad as Paramount.
Yeah.
But content again
yeah. I mean,
they
have a good catalog.
They have a good catalog now. They have okay. So this is another thing too, is that some of these catalogs, like you said, like Peacock is one of them. The quantity is less, but I mean, when you're talking about things like the Jurassic series, you know what I mean? Like because it's NBC Universal, it's like they have some big monumental.
I think they have Scream 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, like they have
Not
some monumental movies, fan favorite, like a lot of like 80s, 90s, like 2000, like they have some big stuff because it's Universal. But that being said, and there's another thing that we can take into consideration is like rotation and actual being on the service. Like, for example, the Harry Potter franchise. Yes, it is also available on HBO Max. We'll talk about that later. But if you don't have HBO Max and Peacock's doing all this advertising, they did so much advertising that they're going to have Harry Potter, which most of the time they do. But for some reason, multiple times, Harry Potter, the whole franchise, will cycle on and off of Peacock. And people complain, and it always like trends and shit. Like, but for some reason, it's whatever the contract thing is with HBO or with Warner, but that franchise is constantly cycling on and off. Also, that's where the Fast and Furious movies, some of those cycle in and out. People sometimes will tweet and say that like, oh, I was binging the Fast and Furious franchise, and for some reason, Fast 5 isn't on Peacock. And it's like, well, it was. What you know what I mean? Like, it's just very confusing in that regard. Big win, though, for me, and I said this since it started, the channels thing. I love that stuff. That's awesome. I love being able to turn on the Office one, and it just plays no rhyme or reason. Oh, I just thought of another big plus. It just plays, no rhyme or reason, just The Office, as if you were watching a channel on TV. It just will play random, like, season 1 episode 2, season 9 episode 4, like, you know what I mean, like just random stuff like that. As well as the SNL one I really like, where they will just play, sometimes they play episodes back to back, sometimes there's blocks where it's just random sketches, which is like super cool. And the final big win for me for Peacock, which is why it's not 7 or 8 on my list, why it's at number 6, the landing page for content, which some things don't even just straight up do not have. Like, I'm trying to think. Prime Video does not have that. and Paramount really doesn't have that. Anything else that I can think of? Yeah, Disney Plus doesn't really have that either, by the way. But what I'm saying is the landing page, you click on The Office, it brings up this whole thing where there are curated playlists, in like like the best of Kelly episodes with a little video message from Mindy Kaling talking about Kelly and then playing you the playlist of her handpicked best episodes. There's Office trivia baked in. And I know you and I, if we could circle back for a second, we've talked about how like the Ted Lasso landing page on Apple TV has the similar thing where it's like, character cards, stuff like that. A lot of that interactive stuff that really does bring fans in. Like it's cool to go in there and like see, a video message from Rainn Wilson saying why, this is his favorite Dwight episode, and then being able to just click it and watch it. Like they have all that stuff, and they have like, different playlists. It's like the best of Halloween, the best of the Christmas parties on The Office, the best pranks, you know what I mean? Like they really put a lot of time into curating stuff for their bigger properties. And I feel like they put a lot of attention and kind of fan appeal and care into that stuff where other streaming services like a Prime Video, like a Disney Plus, with some exceptions, just throws it on there and it's just, the episode count, like Hulu too. Like it just throws it in there. You could go by the episode count and hit play. You know what I mean? And that's it. That's all they give you. So I really like that aspect of it. But yeah, Peacock, number 6.
Yep.
So what is your 5? Our 5 might be the same.
Our 5 might be the same. Yeah. My 5 is Hulu.
Oh, that is a punt.
Okay.
So then my 5?
Yeah.
Might be a punt. I don't know. Oh, well, it would have to be a punt. It would have to be a punt because we're at the number 5. My number 5 is Prime Video.
Okay, well that's my 4.
Okay, so
we'll talk about that. So Prime to me is a very good. I think they produce a lot of quality content. I think that one of the problems for me is like it's not a. Although, see, that's different for me on a Fire Stick probably. Like for you, there's like an app and it's is it a designated like thing that it shows the shows and stuff like that? Because I feel like whenever I click on Prime Video, like the first thing that pops up is like things I can rent. And I'd rather it show up where it's like it lists all the original content first and foremost, and then I scroll down a little bit, or maybe it's even a separate, tab where it's like Prime Rent or rent Prime movies or something like that. I think that is one downfall for me. Where but like the stuff they produced, they got they had Beautiful Boy, that movie. They had
oh, I love that movie.
They had Tomorrow War, which was pretty good with Chris Pratt. The Boys. They have The Lord of the Rings coming out. They have a few other movies too that I'm trying to think of that I know are.
And one thing that I'll say too is the some of the TV they have. Like I was a big fan of Top Gear.
Oh yeah.
And now all like those 3 guys are over there, and they have the Grand Tour, which is the new version of their newer Top Gear show with like the car and like now it's basically more like travel show with the car. Like they pretty much only do specials now, which I'm not complaining about. But then they also have like the one guy, James May, like he's super into like sometimes cooking and sorry, I just had to crack my back. Sometimes like he's mainly into like cooking and other stuff like that, and so like they will do little like special individual shows for them and stuff. And I really like that stuff. Like I just feel like a lot of their shows are good too. Like you said, like The Boys and Invincible.
Oh, Invincible.
Invincible. Yeah. I was trying to think of the freaking one. All that stuff is really, really good. And then also, like I said, when thinking about the value of the service, I cannot separate what Amazon Prime is, that it just also then comes with Prime Video. You know what I mean? Like that's so much more value than even just streaming service, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, and they got. Sorry, I'm just like they're coming to me. Like Marvelous Miss Maisel, Man in the High Castle, like those shows. People like those
Handmaid's
shows a lot.
Tale.
Handmaid's. Oh, is that?
Oh no, that's
not. I was gonna say that's not Prime.
What was the one that I was thinking of? Did you say Man in High Castle?
I did. Yeah.
They got something.
Yeah, I don't know.
They definitely got something.
But they do have a lot of quality stuff.
I should probably like open up the streaming services.
Yeah.
If I don't have them all in my. But yeah. So that is my.
So
that's my 5. Your 4.
Yep.
So then, what is your 4?
My 4 was Prime.
Oh, so then my 4 we're on.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we could do a punt to the higher position now that we're in the top 4.
Okay.
Because this might be a punt for you. I don't know. My 4 is Netflix.
That's a punt.
Okay. What is your 3?
My 3 is Disney Plus.
That is a punt.
Okay.
What? Okay, my 3 is HBO Max.
That's a punt.
Okay, what is your 2?
My 2 is Netflix.
Okay, let's talk
about
Netflix.
You were saying all this stuff about Netflix earlier, which is not wrong.
Yeah.
Like it has but the sheer like amount of stuff they have
is it stuff you watch though?
Well, okay, so like
is it?
I watch a lot of crime docs, Netflix does. But they also have like that's not they have stuff that's not theirs that's very, very quality like movies and TV shows. Like when I was like they have the whole section where it's like award-winning movies, and they have like what is that one called with Darkest Hour. They have Blade Runner, they have Apocalypse Now, they have all of these movies that are very quality, and then they have a bunch of shows that are good. Obviously they have Daredevil. Now I'm going to go through the Netflix list just to make sure, unless I think I have to log in. Am I logged in? I hope I am. Yeah, so they have, let's see. Seinfeld. Don't forget about Seinfeld, because they have that. Although, are they going to keep that?
It was for 36 months.
Oh, okay.
It's February right now, and it just went into effect.
Yeah, they just got it. Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they have it for like 2 more years.
Okay.
I don't see them not putting up the money again.
Oh, the Kanye documentary is out. I didn't know that. But they got stuff like The Social Network. They got The Dark Knight.
You're talking
True
about
Grit.
Genius Part 1?
Yeah, they got Moneyball. They got Casino Royale. They got There Will Be Blood. Like they have all of these. They got Terminator. Like all of this stuff that is very, very, high quality. And let's look at TV shows. They got 30 Rock. They got Schitt's Creek. They got Arrested Development. They got Grey's Anatomy.
All right, I get it. I get it.
They have a lot of stuff. They have Star Trek: The Next Generation.
All right,
can Paramount say that? Do they have that?
I'm switching. Okay. I want to switch. I'm making an official switch. So we just talked about Netflix, which is his number 2. I am bumping Netflix to my number 2.
Okay.
Because when you started naming shit like Schitt's Creek and stuff, I forget. I really do, only because it's such a core tenet of what it is now.
Right.
I mainly focus on original content.
You can't,
though, which, if I'm being honest, like, even in the original content, like, it's pretty fucking good.
They lack in.
Oh shit! You know what?
They do lack in the original.
Earlier when we were naming stuff, I forgot about like Ozark.
Yeah, Ozark.
I forgot about all that shit.
Yeah.
But then really when you started hitting me with the catalog, really the one that got me was when you said Schitt's Creek. Yeah. I was like, oh fuck, that's right. I was like, there's so much good shit on Netflix. Okay, so that was both of our 2. It was Netflix. So let's circle back down again. What was your 4?
My 4 is hold on. My 4 is Prime, Amazon Prime Video.
What the fuck did we miss? What's your 3?
My 3 is Disney Plus. We missed my 5.
What's your 5?
My 5 is Hulu.
Okay, then my 4 is Hulu. Okay, there we go. I was like, that math doesn't work. Okay, so we missed your 5. Yeah, so Hulu for me, which I feel like might be the difference here, is I watch a lot of like
Yep.
I mean, I don't even watch a lot of it. It's just like I would die without like Shark Tank. I would die without like The Profit, without like very few but very specific and intense loves I have for very few and very specific network TV shows. Like especially a lot of like reality network TV shows and stuff. I just love it, and I will go back in and I will watch the years past of stuff that they have on Hulu. All my cooking show, like not Food Network because they don't have Food Network, but like all the Gordon Ramsay stuff, like Hell's Kitchen. They have all of Hell's Kitchen, all of Kitchen Nightmares, all of The F Word, all of MasterChef, all of MasterChef Junior. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like that stuff is just so good. I always tell
myself I would like to go and explore on Hulu more. I just don't.
And then all its original stuff.
For me,
really
they
good.
are the independent streaming service for me, where they have they have stuff like. Although again, it's not really an independent movie, but like The Nice Guys, that's where I'd find, movies like that on Hulu, and I just don't go there that often. But I would like to more.
And then also, their original content.
Yeah, I know they have like Only Murders in the Building.
It's so good, yeah. Well, not even just that, but just like.
I think they had a Michael Keaton movie.
Hulu, they have a show, Dope Sick.
Oh, okay.
I watched the first episode.
Maybe
of
it's
that.
Netflix. Something of that.
It is. No, that's with Michael Keaton. That's the one with like Michael Keaton where he's like on the main poster of it and stuff.
Well, is that the one? Show. There's one where he's like a guy that he's like an insurance person that assigns.
Oh no, that
Netflix?
I watched and reviewed that on this show. That was
you did?
The Count.
Yeah.
That was on Netflix.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was about September 11th.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that was Yeah, that was on Netflix. It wasn't a Netflix original though. I don't think it was just.
Worth. Netflix. It's called.
Oh, The Worth. Sorry.
It says Netflix film. So.
Okay, then I guess it is. I don't know why I said The Count. Well, that's basically what it is. It's it's a very good movie. It's him and Stanley Tucci are kind of the two powerhouses going at it in it. But it's basically about the unfortunate reality of. Basically the insurance and the money fallout from 9/11. Very, very good movie. But yeah, like the Hulu original stuff, like not only that, but like, also FX.
Yeah.
All of FX. That's a huge one for me. Like, I go back and watch Legion, What We Do in the Shadows, a lot of the comedy series and stuff too. Hulu really brings it, as well as they have some stellar, original films, like that are just released on there. Also, like you said, like things like The Nice Guys. I don't know if that's on there exactly right now, but you're absolutely right. Like that kind of tone of like, oh, look at this movie that these, famous people were in. Like, how did I miss that one? Like that would normally be on Hulu. So yeah, I really, really, really like Hulu. Not that you don't. I mean,
I like it.
5 is still, when we're getting in the top 5, really all of these, they're not bad, but when we're getting in the top 5, they're all good. But yeah, anything else for Hulu?
No, that's about it.
Okay, so then what is your 3?
My 3 is Disney Plus.
Okay, that is a punt. My 3 is HBO Max.
That's a punt.
So that's all we have left.
Yes.
And they're exact opposites. I'll let you go with HBO Max. Then we can just end with Disney
HBO Max is just, and we absolutely crapped on it when it was announced.
Rightfully so.
Yes.
No, not when it was announced. When we got our hands on it.
Oh yeah.
on launch, it was not just when it was because we were hyped. Everybody was hyped for it. But man, yeah, we you can go back. You can go back and watch that one.
I don't know what episode that was. It was very early
whatever the episode is, it's got a big HBO logo and the 3 Spider-Man, because that was the same week that was like, the rumor.
Oh, okay.
It was the same week that it was like, oh my God, Toby and Andrew might be in Spider-Man 3. That was the same week that HBO Max launched, because I remember making that thumbnail. It's probably like episode like 15 or 16 or something like that.
But yeah, for me, like HBO Max is the streaming service I consistently go to the most now, whether it be a show like Euphoria, or they have they have The Matrix, they have Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, they got all these shows too that you can watch. They have HBO Max, HBO Originals, they got Sopranos, they got The Wire, all that other stuff. And then of course they have like the categories, like we have Cartoon Network, we have Studio Ghibli, they have what's another one? They have TCM. So all your classic movies they have on there.
Crunchyroll.
They it's not on there.
It separated.
Right. I think Funimation bought it, which I have Funimation. I haven't really seen like a difference. Maybe it's I don't know the Crunchyroll catalog, so I don't know. But by the way, if you want to watch an anime, Adult Swim,
Cartoon Network.
That's what I said. But I also feel like they have and this might be one. I mean that whole deal was good for consumers, personally, not for not for the business. But I meant like the day and date. Like if you want to watch it, not go to the theater, that was good for 2021. But I also just feel like they have a quick turnaround, because like Eyes of Tammy Faye is already on
cycling. You mean?
Yeah, like they have a quick turnaround of putting movies out, and then they appear on HBO Max pretty quickly. I feel like that. Maybe that's just me, but like I felt like Eyes of Tammy Faye I wouldn't be seeing on HBO Max yet. I know it came out like a few months ago. Yeah. But like I just like stuff like that.
When did that get added? That got added like the 20th of December or something.
Yeah, it was something.
Because I think I watched it around Christmas.
Right, and I was just like, oh, okay, that's nice to see that on there. And I do like the way it's kind of set up too. I like the.
Can we talk?
But they got Peacemaker and all that.
How long? How? Oh, right. I was just gonna say, when was the last time you were on it? Within the last few days, at least.
Yeah,
right?
Sunday.
Yeah. Did you notice? Did you get the update?
Oh, I don't think so. Oh.
That's the only thing that like
the update.
That's the only thing that like I was like, what
Maybe
the hell is this?
Is it on mobile?
It's very small. I don't know. Okay. I don't know. So HBO Max used to have like these big like, it's just the interface like, so the buttons, the actual buttons, like the actual like radio buttons or whatever that you would click, were like these nice like beveled oval things. And now it's all
Game of Thrones?
Now it's all squares.
Squares.
Everything is squared off.
Where
now.
Is this?
So like the play button. Like if you go to something.
Yeah.
Here, hang on.
Well, show me because I can't see it because I guess.
Yeah. I don't know if it's on here or not, but it's definitely on my TV. And I was like, what the fuck is this? Oh, see, okay, so it's not, but I can show you what I mean. So see how that's.
Yeah.
See how that's a circle?
Yeah, it's a square now. Oh, okay.
And it really, I don't know why, man, it really fucking bugged me. I was like, what the fuck is going on with this? Like, I was taken aback. I'm not going to lie to you. But, like, even something like, see, right here, boom. This is exactly what I was talking about. This nice, like, oval thing. That's what the play buttons used to look like on my TV. Right. Now, it's literally just a white outline box with no fill and just white letters.
Oh, that's weird. Yeah.
And I was like, what happened? Yeah. I don't know. It just feels like, I don't know. I like you said, HBO Max is just like, it just felt kind of like refined.
Yeah.
I guess it's not as like smooth as Apple or as Google TV nearly. I would not describe HBO Max as smooth, but it is well thought out. It's another one that, it doesn't have quite as good landing pages like Peacock does. But it's the second or third best, because Apple does have good ones too. Yeah.
I'd probably put Apple number 1, maybe. Although I haven't been on Peacock, so I don't
Peacock, Apple has like the character things and stuff, which is like cool and like the recommended.
But Peacock has the
Peacock just goes so deep because they have so many playlists. They reach out to the actual like stars of whatever you're watching. Like, I would still put Peacock as number 1. And because Peacock has way more like exclusive content too. I'm just really, what I'm talking about that with Peacock, I'm really just going off of The Office because that's the one that I've fully explored. But back to HBO Max, yeah. You're absolutely right. I changed my ranking again. My number 1 is still the same. We'll go over our rankings again real quick in a minute here because we're about to, we can wrap up because it's Disney Plus. We already know what the conversation is going to be. But yeah, like Peacemaker, like you said, Peacemaker, Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Sopranos, everything.
They have all that stuff.
HBO, and it's HBO.
And again, I feel like they do a good cycle where it's like every week I open it up. It's like, oh, there's something interesting. They have some good docs. They have again, I don't know if you watched it. The QAnon doc is actually really good. But then of course they have stuff coming like Last of Us, which apparently isn't coming out till next year, which really sucks.
I'm guessing it's gonna be like February.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They're still filming, apparently.
They're still filming, but they've been filming for like 8 months.
Yeah.
I mean, shit, man. I'm expecting, like, at this point, I'm expecting at least...
Are we doing Last of Us 3?
I'm expecting, like, 10, hour and a half long episodes. Probably not that much, but, yeah, like, and even better stuff coming on the horizon.
Batgirl and all the DC properties.
All the DC HBO movies that are coming. Like, that's so cool.
Yeah, it's the one I definitely just go to all the time.
Well, I think what it comes down to is, for me, I think HBO Max is the most well-rounded and most complete streaming service. HBO Max is what a streaming service should strive to be. I think that's what it comes down to for me. And then I think, in terms of my personal favorite, as well as the best, in my opinion, my number 1 is Disney Plus. And it's what for you?
It's 3.
3? For me, it just comes down to the originals.
Star Wars.
If you take everything else, if you strip every single aspect of a streaming service away, even the catalog, even the back catalog of Disney Plus, and you just look at originals to originals on every service, HBO Max is the only thing that comes close to a second, because of DC. Mm-hmm. Now, if the DC shit just keeps knocking it out of the park, it might become number 1. I don't know, because if Peacemaker's an indication, they are doing amazing work at HBO Max. You cannot compete with original Pixar content, original animation. The Pixar films now, basically, as unfortunate as the situation is, are basically Disney Plus movies. Then honestly, also the National Geographic stuff, like we were talking about with Disney Plus Day. I love that shit. The Jeff Goldblum show. I'm really looking forward to that one that we want. The Chris Hemsworth one that's coming out. That looks really good. The Will Smith one that's coming out. That looks really good. And then obviously moving into your more heavy hitters. Fucking the MCU half takes place on Disney Plus. Yeah. You cannot fully appreciate the biggest, most popular film franchise. Not even just film anymore, just the biggest franchise, or whatever the correct word is for it anymore, without Disney Plus. Mm-hmm. And they have proven that they can do the highest of high quality stuff on TV, on streaming, whatever you want to call it. And then Star Wars, save for Boba Fett, with whatever ups and downs people had with that season, and just knocking it out of the park. For me, honestly, everything else is secondary compared to what you can bring me with original content. So yeah, that's why Disney Plus number 1. Yeah, that's what I gotta go with.
All right. All right. So I'll read my list. You read yours, and then we can get out of here.
Sounds good.
So my list is number 8 Paramount Plus, number 7 Apple TV Plus, number 6 Peacock, number 5 Hulu, number 4 Prime, Amazon or Prime Video, number 3 Disney Plus, number 2 Netflix, and number 1 HBO Max.
And my list is number 8 Apple TV Plus. Number 7, Paramount Plus. Number 6, Peacock. Number 5, Prime Video. Number 4, Hulu. Number 3, Netflix. Number 2, HBO Max. And number 1, Disney Plus.
Nice.
Boom. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. That was our episode on streaming services ranked, as well as our Death on the Nile review. Thank you guys so much for checking out the live stream, as well as checking out the Belfast review that's up on the channel. We'll have a Coda, I'll post my Coda review once I finish that, either later tonight or tomorrow probably. I'm also hoping to watch Lady Macbeth soon as well. So keep an eye out for everything like that. That'll do it for me. I've been one of your hosts, Sean Monk. Thank you guys for watching.
I've been another host, TJ Cornwell. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Subscribe to PFN Gaming. I'm almost getting close to finishing Guardians. You can join us as well on the Twitch channel to watch me, finish those. I'll probably finish it over the weekend. I also have the last 3 playthroughs I did on the YouTube channel. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe on those videos. Check out the reactions we have. Check out Sean's review of Belfast. Subscribe to TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, and we will see you next time.
Boom.